Hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. So we had this huge tree fall in our field, and we didn't want to let it go to waste, so we cut it up into logs so that we could turn that into lumber we could use on our cabin build. Now our buddy Justin has a sawmill, but he was having some problems with the setup on that, so he brought it over to the shop and we worked on it together until we figured it out and got things lined out. So we got those bushings tightened up, we installed a new clutch and did a few test passes in the shop to make sure everything's ready to go. So now we're ready to get it moved out of the shop and set up and ready to mill those logs that we saved so that we'll have some lumber to finish out the inside of our cabin. So today I'm working on site prep for where we're going to stage the mill and also some places where we can stack the lumber as we cut. I'm going to get me a spot mowed up to where we can set the mill up here on this level ground, pretty close to where we've got our logs staged. Should be able to get around the mill pretty easy with the tractor and all that. We got the road bed right here we can drive on, so I think that'll be a pretty good spot for it. I'm going to get this mowed up, that way we don't have to deal with bugs and weeds and all that good stuff. So I wasn't looking to move just a ton of dirt here. I just wanted to have a semi-smooth spot for us to work and set up the mill, and I wanted it to be relatively close to where I staged the logs so we didn't have to carry them a long ways. So I just made a few passes with the box blade to kind of drag the dirt and smooth it out just a little bit. And after that, I just basically run the tractor back and forth on it a few times to pack it down, and we'll call that good. So we've got us a spot cleared off here where we can park the mill. It's not just perfectly level, but pretty good level spot where we can put some footings down, put some boards down, and we've got good solid ground. I kind of took the topsoil off, make sure we got a good smooth spot to park it. So next, you probably remember this stack of railroad ties. We picked this up when we were setting up the parking lot for the coffee shop, and I didn't know how many we would need, so I bought quite a few extras. They were just $8 a piece. And when I brought them home, I just stacked them all here in the driveway, and I've kind of regretted that ever since. So I figured these would work pretty well for staging our lumber and keeping it up off the ground. So I thought I would set us up a little spot where we can stage lumber, and then I'll just put the rest of them on this little concrete pad back behind the chicken coop. So moving this lumber, we definitely found the limits of the loader capacity on this. I had to raise the throttle to get enough power to get this off the ground so I could move. So I'm glad to have this mess cleaned up out of the driveway, even if I did just relocate it to a different spot. So here is another great illustration of me not being a planner. I just go out and start working and let things come together. I'm not saying that's the best way to operate. I'm just saying it's the way I operate. When I started laying out these railroad ties, I first put too much spacing between them, and as I thought about the boards we were going to be laying on them, I thought, well, they'll start to sag if I leave them that far apart, so I need to add some more in between them. And to be completely honest, I didn't even plan to set up a staging area for the lumber until I finished smoothing out the ground and I walked past my stack of railroad ties and I thought, well, I could move all those. And what all this really boils down to is I'm just playing. And I really do have a good time when I go out and work like this. Sorry guys, this one's long enough. I think we are set up and ready to mill.